If you're like most Nik Silver Efex Pro users, you probably start editing your images using presets, or perhaps you dive into using the global adjustment controls. If you do either of these things, then there are some important first steps you're probably missing. When you start editing a new image using Nik Silver Efex Pro, you should first use the color filter section. The default filter is a neutral grey, which doesn't have any effect on the image. But if I change this to an orange filter, you'll immediately see the effect it has on the preview. What happens is that the orange filter causes the orange areas of the image to become lighter. In this image, because most of the stonework has an orange tint to it, the orange filter lightens it. At the same time, the filter darkens colours on the opposite side of the colour wheel. If we look at the colour wheel, you can see that blue is opposite orange, so applying an orange filter to the image makes blue areas darker. You can see this happening best if you look at the window light. When I had the grey filter selected, the window looks quite bright, but notice how dull it becomes when I select the orange filter. Then, when I select the blue filter, it creates a much brighter window light, as well as creating deeper shadows below the staircase. This all makes for a more interesting image, which is why selecting the right filter for your conversion is an important first step. After that, you can fine-tune the effect by adjusting the strength slider. But this first step with Silver Efex Pro doesn't just end there. There's something else you should do, which is to adjust the color response sliders. These are buried away in the film types section. These sliders are used to simulate different films and are adjusted by the film presets. But we don't want to use a film preset to simulate a particular film stock. Instead, we want to use the sliders to control how the colours in this image are converted to black and white. These sliders have the same colours that we saw in the colour wheel earlier. When we move one of the sliders to the left, it darkens that colour in the image. And if I move it to the right, we lighten it. A good first step with these controls is to move each slider left and right to understand how it affects the image. Having done that, I now know I can move my yellow slider to the left to lighten the image and deepen the shadows under the staircase. Then I can move my blue slider to the right to brighten the area around the window. By using these controls together with the filter, I'm simulating what someone shooting black and white film would do. They choose the film stock and apply a colour filter to control how the colours in a scene are captured. It's only when they get back into the darkroom and process their film that they would use tools like we have in the rest of Nik Silver Efex Pro. But in the digital world, there's an additional step we can take even before we begin editing with Silver Efex Pro. It's something that I recommend in my new book, Mastering Nik Silver Efex Pro 3. Let's take the same starting image, but this time I'll process it with Nik Color Efex Pro first. Let's say that we want more texture and detail in the walls, as well as emphasizing shadow detail in the staircase. We can do this by applying the Detail Extractor filter in Color Efex Pro. This produces a lot more texture in the image. For this example, I'll just use the default setting, but it's best to experiment with them when you're doing this yourself. Because the default setting for this image is a little bit strong, I'll reduce the opacity of the filter to around 50%. Another useful filter to emphasize detail is the Pro Contrast filter, where we can apply the dynamic contrast. Comparing these changes with the original image, you can see the difference they make. Once we've applied those adjustments to the image, we can process it in Silver Efex Pro 3 again. As before, I'll apply the blue filter and adjust the strength. After that, I'll reduce the yellow sensitivity slider and increase the blue. Notice how different the conversion now looks, having emphasized the texture and detail. And we've achieved all this before enhancing our image with the other Silver Efex Pro controls. Now, if you want to learn how to best use the other controls in Silver Efex Pro, you may find my new book, Mastering Nik Silver Efex Pro 3, helpful. Now, in today's video, I used Nik Color Efex Pro to pre-process the image, but there's another good option. Back in 2016, I published this video where I share an example using Nik HDR Efex Pro. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back again for more videos in the future.